So today we're going to work on multiplying fractions. And these are polynomial fractions, not just regular multiplication of fractions. Remember, when there were just numbers here, we multiply the top times the top and the bottom times the bottom. But then we realized that I could make the problem a little bit less cumbersome if I could mark out some of those things at the beginning. And again, we just found out a while ago that the only time I get to mark things out with add or subtract signs is when I factor them. So once again, factor, factor, factor. So I'm going to factor 6a. And okay, it factors into 6 times a. I'm going to factor 4a plus 20. It's got a greatest common factor of 4 and a plus 5. I'm going to factor 3a plus 15. Well, that one's got a greatest common factor of 3, and the rest of it's a plus 5. And I'm going to factor 2a squared, and that factors into 2 and a squared. So the first thing you should notice here is that this a plus 5 and this a plus 5 can now be marked off because they're the exact same factor. This 6 and this 3, I can mark it off and leave me with 2 up here. This 4 and this 2, I can mark it off and leave me with 2 up here. And this a squared and this a, I can mark that off and leave me with an a on the bottom. So I'm left with a 2 here and a 1 on the bottom, and a 2 here and an a on the bottom. Now I can go ahead and multiply across and get 4 times 1a. And again, do I have to write the 1? No. You only have to write the 1 when it's on the top of the fraction. So multiplying fractions, factor, factor, factor. So again, favorite place, computer software, multiplying rational expressions. Again, which is just another way of saying multiplying fractions. So number 1. That's 59 times n over 99 times 80 over 33n. Well, what can I see what I can do? Let's see. 59 I think that's prime. N, okay, no, nothing there. 80. I can factor that into 8 times 10. 99, I can make that 9 times 11. 33, I can make that 3 times 11. And I can make n, but there are no add or subtract signs here. So I can go ahead and mark off anything that I wanted to mark off as I'm working the problem here. And I see that there's an n on the top and there's an n on the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that n and that n. Now, somebody's going to say, can't I mark off this 11 and that 11? Well, they're both on the bottom of the fraction. So, no, you can't do that. The only way that I get to mark things off is if they're multiplied and one's on the top of the fraction and the other one's on the bottom of the fraction. So I'm left with 59 times 80, which I got is 4720. And then I'm left with 99 times 33, which is 3267. And because there wasn't anything I can mark off here, then there's nothing I can mark off in my answer. I'm done. Let's try number 9. Number 9 is, again, there's not a lot of room on this paper, so I'm just going to rewrite it on another paper. So that's 2 times p plus 6 over 4 times p minus 3 over 2 times p minus 3. Okay. And again, some people are going to say, but this is parentheses in it and that one doesn't. Remember, I can just write that this way if it'll make you feel better. And in that case, then, yes, this is exactly the same as that. And I'm multiplying their parentheses. I can mark them off. What does that leave me with? That leaves me with a 2 here. And I like to go across and just get rid of stuff as I come up against them. So is there something on the bottom that I can mark off with a 2? Is there another 2 or something that is a multiple of 2? Somebody's going to go, yep, I can mark that 2 off with that 4. You would be 100% correct. I'm going to go ahead and mark that 2 off with that 2. I would get the same answer no matter what I did. If I marked the 2 off with the 4, I'd leave myself with a 2 here, which I'd multiply times that 2. Either way, I'm going to end up with a p plus 6 on the top and a 4 on the bottom. And again, can I reduce that 6 with that 4? This has got an add sign with it. These are together. So if you're going to touch that 6, you're going to have to do something with that p. And I can't, so I'm done. That's all there is to it. Question number 12. And again, I'm just going to write it on another piece of paper. P plus 6, p minus 4 over p minus 4 times 1 over p minus 4, p minus 2. And again, that's number 12 on that same CUDA software sheet. Is there anything that I can do with this? Well, this one's actually already factored. So I've already got my parentheses, so I can just start crossing things off. Is there anything that I can mark off with that p plus 6? Anywhere on the bottom? Nope. How about the p minus 4? Somebody's going to go, yes, I can do that there, and I'm going to agree. And somebody might have said I can knock it off with that one, and I would have agreed with that one. Either way, I got one of them marked off, and I'm going to have to leave the other one. And then is there anything I can mark that one off with? I'm not really going to need to, but I don't need to keep it in my answer unless it's the only thing left up there. And it's not. So my final answer is p plus 6 over p minus 4, p minus 2. Next one I want to do is I want to look at number 27. Again, same section of the worksheet, only this is the second page, not the first page. And I'm going to try and factor some things. Well, that one's already factored. This one factors into 3. Sorry, that's a minus sign, isn't it? And m minus 5. This one factors into 8 and m minus 10. And this one factors into m minus 5, m minus, no, that won't work, m minus 10, and m plus 1. Okay, so now we've got this problem. And again, we're left with, I'm just going to start at the top and see if there's anything I can get rid of. So that m plus 1 goes with that m plus 1. That 8, not going anywhere. It won't work with the 3, it won't work with the m minus 5, and it won't work with the m minus 10. But the m minus 10s will work. And so I'm left with 8 over 3 and m minus 5. Okay. Last one I want to look at on this one is something that you might have struggled with in the first section of this chapter. And so I'm going to go ahead and just mention it again. As I factor x squared minus 10x plus 25 into x minus 5 and x minus 5, the bottom, I'm going to factor that into 10 times x minus 10. On the second fraction, I've got the x minus 10 there. And on this one, I've got 45 minus 9x. And again, I'm going to show you why I said this is the one that might have caused you some difficulty last time. Because I'm going to factor that 45 minus 9x into 9 times 5 minus x. And now, can I mark anything out? This is a positive x and a negative 5. This is a negative x and a positive 5. That's a no. X minus 5. No. X minus 10, well, at least that gives me something. But this is exactly the opposite of what this one is. And so I'm going to make that a negative 9 as a greatest common factor, which is going to make that negative 5 plus x. And now that is going to be able to be marked off with one of those. So instead of using this set of factors, I'm going to use a greatest common factor that's negative. Even if it's just a negative 1, I'm going to use a greatest common factor that's negative, and I'm going to take it from there. So then I'm left with a regular x minus 5 on the top, and I'm left with a 10 and a negative 9 on the bottom. So go ahead and put those together and get x minus 5 over negative 90.